Pause and solve, because the answer is A. Text structure, get to chunking. First sentence gets its own little chunkerino. Many archaeologists assume elite class required. I move on to my next sentence. I've got a little signal element. I don't want to drop him from my chunk. However, recent discoveries, Alabama, have complicated things. The final sentence gets its own little chunkerino too. With RC dating, the canal was made without elite. I feel good about this, so I'm going to start engaging with my items. The first part, it describes a common view among archaeologists. I absolutely agree with that. Then discusses a recent finding that challenges this view. This fits so comfortably with my chunks, but I'm going to check the other ones just to be disciplined. It outlines, says B, it outlines a method used in some archaeological fieldworks. This is a loser. Sequence matters. This is kind of jumping to the very end and putting it at the front. And then even if I were to go to the second part, this notion of superiority, B is just a trash choice. C and D are a little bit more complicated though. The first part of it speaks to contradictory conclusions. And what this is counting on is for you to take your chunk and do something crazy with it and read in as if, well, oh my gosh, many nerds assume this thing, therefore others must assume the other thing. But that's not true. Many might believe this thing, but many might just not have an opinion on it. The language of this text, my chunk did not extract that there was conflict in the field. So I'm not allowed to read into it. I'm fighting against this contradictory conclusions. And then if I were to keep moving, there is no resolution. We read in the text and we chunked out. It's complicated, the picture. It's harder than it seems. So we don't just want to full send with this crazy idea. C falls. Now, D, complicated too. This is a tricky question. When I looked at D, it identifies a gap in scientific research. This requires for you to have a firm understanding of what it means by gap. A gap means something was neglected or there was a missing piece or a pending question. When I look to this text and tried to extract things in my chunk, nowhere did I get language that said there was a missing piece. They just didn't realize that this thing was going to come up into the reality, into the equation. So the notion of a gap absolutely falls, presents a strategy, whatever. I come back to A. A was my beautiful choice from the beginning, and I'm going to stick to it.